Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Rabbi and welcome to my channel. I'm your IELTS instructor and today we are going to show you how we can solve true, false and not given. I'm going to share some tips and tricks which will be very helpful for you and you can also achieve 7.5 to 8 band scores in your exam. So first of all, the tips I'm going to share is we're going to show you the procedure how you're going to solve true, false, and not given. So here we can see the first point is in order. So true and false will be always in order. So next, when you're reading the question, you always have to identify one phrase or verb which will be the deciding factor whether it will be true or false or maybe false or not given, and you have to analyze that. So analyzing is also one of the most key factor when you're solving true, false, and not given. So you have to analyze that after identifying the phrase and verb. So without wasting any time, I'm directly going to show you some examples how you're going to solve true, false, and not given. So we can go to our example that I'm going to show you by sharing my screen. So first of all, the topic is Henry Moore. So okay, Henry Moore. So there are some students who first read the passage and then they go to the question. So I personally feel that it's not a very good idea because it will waste a lot of time, because when you are going to read whole the passage and you're not going to uh, remember everything. So it's very important that first of all you read the topic and then you directly go to the question. After reading the question, then you can get back to your passage. Okay, so we are going to see our first question. On leaving school, Moore did what his father wanted him to do. So in here, if you see that, I'll identify the important phrase which will be very helpful for to solve this question. Moore did what his father wanted him to do. So Moore did what his father wanted him to do. So if Moore did what his father wanted him to do after leaving the school, then it will be true. Or after graduating from high school, he did what his inner voice said, or any other person said or inspired him to do something else, then it will be false. Or and if nothing is mentioned that more what more did after graduating from school, whether he listened to his father or he listened to any other person, then it will be not given. So we can, as it is now question number one, so we will start from the first passage. So in here, Henry Moore was born in Castleford, a small town near the England. He was, so we have to first to identify what he did after the school. He was Raymond Moore, where he studied at Castleford Grammar School, okay, where his all interest in art was encouraged by his teacher, okay. After leaving school, Moore hoped to become a sculptor, but instead he complied with his father's wish that he train as a school teacher. Okay, I think we got our answer here. Look, so basically, guys, what this passage is saying that after he graduating from school, he wanted to become a sculptor, but because of his father complied, he went to the training of a school teacher, because his father wish was to become a school teacher. So he went for his father advice. So obviously we can come to the conclusion that on leaving school, Mo did what his father wanted him to do, and the answer will be true because he listened to his father. Okay, so we can write it's true. Okay, so the next question is Moore began studying sculpture in his first term at the Leeds School of Art. Okay, so the important phrase or deciding phrase will be Moore began studying sculpture in his first. Okay, he was studying sculpture in his first term. Okay, so if Moore studied sculpture in his first term, then obviously it will be true. And if Moore studied any other subject except sculpture in his first term, then it will be false. And wasn't any mention above the passage that in his first term he started this particular subject or anything else, then it will be not given. So we're going to back to our passage. After the war, Moore enrolled at the Leeds School of Art, where he studied for 2 years. Okay, in his first year, he spent most of the time drawing. Okay, although he wanted to study sculpture, no teacher was appointed until his second year. Okay, he in here you can see that he studied drawing in his first year, but he wanted to study sculpture. But there wasn't any teachers available during his first year of the college. So that is why he studied drawing, not sculpture. Okay, so if we go back to our question, Moore began studying sculpture. No, it will be false. Moore began studying drawing in his first term, not sculpture. So it will be false. Easy. Very easy if you analyze the question and if you identify what are the question is saying, then it will be very easy to crack true, false, and not given. You just need to practice, guys. It is all about practice and follow the procedure that I have shown you. Okay, so I'll see the next question. When Moore started at the Royal College of Art, its reputation for teaching sculpture was excellent. Okay, so in here, when he started at Royal College Art, if the reputation of teaching sculpture was excellent, then it will be true. And if the reputation of teaching sculpture in Royal College of Art was below average or it was like any other college, it was not outstanding, then it will be false. Or nothing was mentioned about the reputation of teaching sculpture at Royal College Art, then it will be not given. So we can see that. See, we can continue our reading. At the end of the he passed the sculpture exposition and was awarded a scholarship to the Royal College of Art in London in 1979. Alongside the instruction he received at the Royal College, Moore visited many of the London museums, particularly the British Museum, which had a wide-ranging collection of ancient sculpture. During this visit, he discovered the power of beauty of ancient Egyptian. Okay, so guys, there isn't any mention in that there wasn't any mention in the passage about the reputation of teaching sculpture at Royal College Fort. So basically, it will be not given because there wasn't any mention about the reputation. Okay, so going back to the next question, more became aware of ancient sculpture as a result of visiting London Museum. So in here they are saying that more became aware of ancient sculpture after visiting to the London Museum. So it's very simple. If more got got some gained some knowledge, or he felt uh, fascinated after visiting to the London Museum about ancient sculpture, then it will be true. And if he didn't gain any knowledge, or he didn't feel any fascination after visiting the London Museum about the ancient sculpture, then it will be false. And nothing, there wasn't any mention about how more felt or how he looked after visiting to the London Museum, then it will be not given. So we can go back to our passage and we can search for London Museum, because London Museum will be our keyword. Alongside the instruction he received at the Royal College, Morocco, visited many of the London Museum. Okay, many of the London Museum, particularly the British Museum, which had a wide-ranging collection of ancient sculpture. Okay, during these visits, he discovered. Okay, he aware and discovered. It's a synonym. He got aware, or he got discovered the power and beauty of ancient Egyptian and African culture during these visits. So when he visited to these museums, he discovered the beauty and the power, how the powerful and how beautiful it is, the ancient Egyptians and the African sculpture. He discovered it after visiting these museums. So as so we can say that more become aware. Yes, it is true, more became aware of ancient culture as a result of visiting London Museum. He wasn't aware of before, so it will be true. This answer is true. It's very easy, guys. The Trocadero Museum's Mayan sculpture attracted a lot of public interest. Okay. So what will be the important phrase? A lot of public interest. The Trocadero Museum's Mayan sculpture attracted a lot of public interest. So if this museum's Mayan sculpture attracted a lot of public interest, then it will be true. If it attracted a very minimum group of people, then also it will be false, because it is not a lot, it is minimum, or it is very less. Anything antonyms of a lot of will be false. And if there wasn't any mention of public interest about the Mayan sculpture at the Trocadero Museum, then it will be not given. So we can go back to our passage and we can continue our finding. We'll look for the Trocadero Museum, okay? After visiting the first 6 months in traveling in France, when he visited the Trocadero Museum, okay, the Trocadero Museum, we are going dive right into the Trocadero Museum in Paris. He was impressed by a cast of Mayan sculpture of the rain spirit. It was male recycling figure. Okay, is there anything mentioned about the public interest, or people more become fascinated? Okay, more become fascinated with sculpture and no other. Okay, so there isn't anything mentioned about the public interest at Trocadero Museum about the Mayan sculpture. So basically, we can come to the conclusion that it will be not given, because there wasn't any mention about the public interest. Okay, guys, my handwriting is is not good that much, so I hope you guys will understand. More thought the Mayan sculpture was similar in a certain respect to other stone sculpture. Okay. In here, we can see that there is being comparison on Mayan sculpture and stone sculpture. If man sculpture is similar to the other stone sculpture in certain aspects, then it will be true. And if man sculpture has some uniqueness than the other sculpture, or it is totally different from other sculpture, then it will be false. And if there isn't any comparison mentioned in our passage about the man sculpture and the other stone sculpture, then it will be not given. So we can continue our reading. Okay, so in Paris, moon sculpture, it was mainly researching that is there anything comparison is over more become fascinated with the stone sculpture which he had okay, okay, that no other stone sculpture possessed. Okay, more became fascinated with the stone sculpture which he thought had a powerful and originality. It means that uniqueness that no other stone sculpture possessed. So More thought that this man's sculpture, this stone means it is referring to man sculpture, had some originality that no other stone sculpture had. So basically, this it's not similar. Its man sculpture is different. It has some uniqueness from other stone sculpture, so it will be false. The artist who belonged to Unit 1 wanted to make modern art and architecture more popular. The artist. So in here, the phrase will be important phrase or verb will be to make modern more popular. Okay. So if the artist of Unit 1 wanted to make modern art more popular, if it wanted to make it viral or more popular, then it will be true. And if the artist of Unit 1 didn't wanted to make it popular, or it wanted to keep in a very low profile, then it will be false. And if there wasn't anything mentioned about how an artist of Unit 1 wanted to make a modern art, what was their goal, if there wasn't anything mentioned about the goal, how they felt about the modern art, then it will be not given. So he more exceptional. We have to look for Unit 1. Uh, okay, we got Unit 1. Okay, so in 1933 he became a member of a group of young artists called Unit 1. The aim of the group was to convince the English public of the merits of the emerging international movement in modern art and architecture. Okay, the aim, the goal, I was saying, the goal of the group was, a group means the artist goal was to convince the English public of the merit list of the emerging international movement in modern art and architecture. So they wanted to become it more popular. Their aim was to become it viral, to publish it in emerging international movement. So basically, it will be true because the artist who belonged to the unit, he wanted to make it popular. So it will be true. So I hope you guys all have been benefited from my this video, and hopefully in near future true false and not giving will be very easy for you guys if you practice accordingly what I have shown you. And thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel and support me. I will come up with a lots of more interesting video in future which will be really beneficial for you guys. So please subscribe to my channel.